Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how I have created a shop page that has the following filters. Like, consider my customer is a dog shop owner. He wants to manage the dogs, and if his if its customer comes and asks for a particular breed, he can able to filter this. And if a client asks for a particular age group, let's say 1 to 2, and click on filter, it's available. And if he wants to look for other breeds, he can freely look by clicking on the filter. Beagle is there, husky, so he can quickly filter, and based on the filter he can give the answer. So this was one of the requirement from my client, and I have made this particular web page with WordPress. So usually in WordPress what you see is this is how the shop page of WordPress will look like: a price, a title, and a add to cart button. But my customer wants a filter customized. So what do I mean by customized? He wants the filter to be based on two things. One is with custom field, so you can see these are custom field. The type of the dog type is custom field, the status is custom field, the age is custom field, the gender is custom field, the age is taxonomy. So here we are using the mix of taxonomy and custom field, and we are making use of the filter. So if you see, this is a filter, and this is these filters except age group, these are getting filtered from custom fields, and this age group is actually taxonomy. Let me show you how it is, how I have created it. Now we'll be creating this in this particular video. I'm just explaining how in the backend it works. Now you see, we have a dog type, we have gender, we have status. So dog type, gender, and status, so these are text fields. Once you fill those, you'll find them in the filter, and after that you'll find age group. So for age group, you can see I have made product tags, and here I have made it 3 to 5 years. So if you click on reset, everything will be gone, and if you want something to be filtered, you can just filter it. So German Shepherd is 2, the count of German Shepherd is 2, the count of Beagle is 2 again, the count of Husky is 2 again, and if you click on reset, everything would get resetted. And also you'll find I'm displaying per page only 10 dogs, and if it exceeds more than 10, you'll find a pagination. So we'll see how this pagination works. Quick way of checking: what if a customer comes and asks for German Shepherd? So in that case, what the website visitor would do is, he would simply, a customer comes and asks for German Shepherd, and the age group is like 5 to 7. If he clicks on filter, you'll find the German Shepherd with age 5 to 7. And what if he has changed his mind and asked 3 to 5 years German Shepherd? So that's also there. Now he wants not the German Shepherd but the Husky. So here you'll find Husky, and click on filter, and Husky is available. Or again, if he wants 3 to 5 years of Labrador, again it's available. So this is how the filter works. So that's the business logic. Let's see how are we going to create with the help of WordPress. Now, purely technical, this is going to be a archive product page. So we are going to customize archive product page so that we can list the products according to us. So what do I mean by according to us? So this is an archive page. As I said, this image is available even on plain WordPress without our plugin, but we are making the customization and adding the custom field, which is dog type, the status of the dog, and the age of the dog, and the gender. So we are using custom archive product and making it display the custom fields. That's first thing. And the second thing is we are dealing with pagination as well. That's second thing. And the third thing is we are making use of filter. So this filter, usually in WooCommerce and in WordPress, you'll just find filter based on categories. But here what we are doing is we are making use of custom field and applying it in the filter. You won't find much free plugin where you will see filterable products based on custom fields. But here I'm going to show you how are we going to create filter based on custom fields. So I hope you know what is custom fields. So we have created this meta box. We'll see how to create this meta box. We'll see how to add this taxonomy, that second thing, and we'll see how to create custom archive product page, that's third, and the fourth one is we'll see how to create pagination, and the fifth one is how to add this filter with taxonomy is also included, also custom field is also included. So that's the technical part. Meta box, we'll see how to create taxonomy. I have shown you shop page, I have shown you how filter works, I have shown you how pagination works. Now let's get into the code. I have added all the products. So here I'm not going to show you how to add products. We'll directly jump into how to create these post types, sorry, meta box and the taxonomy. So that's what we are going to start now. So before that, let me just deactivate the current plugin so that it doesn't conflict with our. So what I'll do is I'll create a new folder and name it as old and push it those two plugins inside. Cool. Now we want our plugin to show in this particular page. So what we will do, we'll create a folder and let's call it as doc shop, and in the doc shop what we have to do is we have to create a new file, and that file has to be named as with your folder name after your folder name. So let's just keep it as it is, doc shop. So this is recommended but it's not 100% required, and I'm giving some extra information. So this is doc shop filter, and I have given a description, I have given author. So this is enough to make your plugin available, so visible in this page. Now what I need, when the plugin gets activated, I want to register. I hope it would have gone. So since we have deactivated it, so let me just add your product so that you can find a taxonomy. So we are going to create a taxonomy. So let's create that. So when the plugin gets activated, this hook would get called, and when the hook is called, our plugin would be activated. So what I need is I want a taxonomy of dog age group, and it should be attached to the product type, and it should be attached to the post type product, and these are the labels. So this is label dot dog age group. It should be available. Yes, it should be available. Should I show in UI? Yes, show in UI. Either it's category or it's tag. If it's false, then it's tag. If it's true, then it's category. Do you need a page separately for this taxonomy? Yes, I need. Also, I want the slug to be dog age. Show in REST API. Yes, show in REST API. So there are two version of editor. One is classic editor. You'll know classic editor is just a text field, and the REST API editor, it's a block. So I made it block. So I'm going this little fast because we have already a separate plugin. I have already created a separate playlist called WordPress plugin development, which has 67 videos. I have covered it in depth. So this playlist is particularly for Woocommerce. So I'm just skipping those because we have already covered 67 videos over there. A full-fledged working plugin are available over there. But if I explain over here, it's just a time-consuming task, and it will not let us focus on WooCommerce. So fine, our taxonomy is registered. Now we need to register product meta boxes. So to add meta boxes, we have a hook called add meta boxes, and this is the handle which WordPress takes care of it. We don't have to worry about it. And this is the title, and this is the function that is needed so that WordPress knows what to render. We are just rendering the HTML. So we need 3 input field that we will create with the help of this function, and I'm saying it attached to the product type, and let the where do you want to show, on the left side or on the right side. So I said show it on the left side. If you want it to be on the side, you'll write side, and what the priority, and I have made it high because I want just after the product description, and this is enough. And also this function is required or else it won't work. And I'll just create the function, and here these are the function that will output the HTML. Let me just show you how our meta boxes look like. So since I made it high, you will find it plugin is not active. Let me just activate the plugin, and now if you refresh, you should find your meta boxes just after your product description. So this is product description, this is meta box. So this is the title which is coming from here, dog detail, and this is the function that is outputting the input field. So as of now I have not saved anything, that's why it's blank. What if I have saved? So whenever I save some input field, what happens is this input field get saved with the post ID. I'll just show you by clicking on this. So this is a product and it has a post ID called 148, and 148 has these three input field. So if I say 148 is the post ID, it's a product, but I say post ID because WordPress stores either its post, either its product, either its pages. All of them are actually post, will get stored in WP post table, and additional information about the post gets stored in post meta. So since I say this product has the post ID 148, so 148 is the post ID, and the data related to 148 post ID gets stored in the post meta. And what are those value? And it is stored as key value pair. So these are the keys. So the name attribute which you give is actually a key. So this is how it gets stored in the post meta with the ID and with the value. So that's why I am using the get post meta function, passing the ID, and also along with passing the ID, this is actually the key. So this is the key and this is a value. So the value you'll access it from the get parameter, post parameter. I'll show you how when saving it. So just understand, you are going to fetch the WP post metadata with the help of post ID, and these are the keys. And now I have fetched those. What if they are saved? So consider these are saved, and that's why the value got fetched with the help of get post meta and got displayed on the value section. So now we have just rendered the HTML. I want to save it. To save the rendered HTML, again we'll use a hook called save post product, and I said this is for this is for getting value and this is for setting value. And even when we are setting, we need the product ID, post ID. So this post ID I'm passing it over here, and I'm setting the key. So this is the key that we have used. This is key and this is value. The value that we can access it with the help of name attribute. So you can see that's what I have done here. Now this is enough to save your. Now you can easily change this to mail and it would get reflected. So if it got saved even after page refresh, that means your product has been saved properly. If I refresh the page, we have made from female to male. Now if you find the gender input field, and we have changed it from female to male, and that works, and that will reflect on front end as well. We don't have to worry about it. Now what I need is, I'm going to customize the archive product. So this is the default one which has no feature. We are going to customize this. Now I want to tell WordPress, whenever WordPress looks for archive-product.php file, instead of opening WordPress archive.php, get into my templates folder. Inside templates folder, I will be creating a file called archive.product.php. Now I need to tell the WordPress, whenever WordPress looks for archive.product, instead of loading file from Woocommerce, load it from my folder. Template include is the hook, and I'm saying whenever WordPress looks for archive product, load my archive.product.php. So this is the plugin directory which will give you the location till the plugin, and this is the template. So this is the folder that I've created, and I've added a blank file. Now if I refresh the page, you'll find blank because WordPress is loading our file. Now over here, what we need to do is, let's just load the header and footer. So this is header and this is footer, and if I refresh, you'll find the header and footer. In between, what we need a search box, and let's just display the search box. As of now, we can remove the selected part. So basically I have set an array and I am running it one after the other, and that will render the option tag. Now if I refresh, this is how it looks without CSS. Now let's add CSS also. To add CSS, let me create a new folder called assets, and inside assets, let us create a new file called CSS style.css. Let us paste the required CSS, and if you refresh, it won't work because we have to say to the WordPress that we need to enqueue our style as well. I'm saying to the WordPress that there is a style sheet. When loading this plugin, load it in the head section. That's what I'm saying. I'm locating the file with the URL of the plugin and saying it inside assets. There is a style.css. Load it. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have any dependency. That's why the empty array. And this is for cache each time. Don't have to worry about it. Now we have set it. So this is coming from array. I think I have left some empty what do you call that, closing tag. It's over here. Now these are coming from an array. So these are coming from array, and again you'll find this is an array, this is again an array, this is hard-coded array, so that's why it's getting populated. Now except the taxonomy, so we have used taxonomy, and we are fetching the taxonomy. I am displaying it, the taxonomy here is just a tag. Now what I need is I need to run all the query. Now I need to run a query to fetch all the products. So how are we going to do it? We will build an argument with post type product. I want 10 per page, and this page is required so that WordPress knows that we are using custom shop page. So to include pagination, we need to explicitly add this paged that we will be fetching from the current WP query. When I load this page, WordPress usually run a query called a WP query. So WP query has a attribute, so it returns, so let's say WP query returns associative array. The associative array means there are many key values there inside it. So there is one such value where there is one such key called paged. I'm just fetching it from the main WP query and passing it to the new argument. Now I need to run this new argument. Let's run the argument. Again we are using WP query. Now since all the products is inside this query, now we need to render the HTML. So over here I'm checking if there is any query, then get the relevant post meta values. So we have received the relevant post meta values. I have already explained what get post meta does, and also the tags, and I'm just displaying the HTML. So this is the HTML. So it's just a CRUD operation. We don't have to worry about it. It's like fetching the values and displaying it. So now we have the list of all products. So we are fetching it with the help of query. Now you see get title is the title. This is responsible. This is because we are using get title and using post, and this you can see this type is actually the custom field which we have used here. So this is custom field. Again the status status you see here, status is custom field, the age is coming from the taxonomy, you can see this terms, and the gender is coming from the coming from this variable. We just have to surround it with HTML. That's what I have done. It may look confusing, but it's very simple. I have surrounded these values inside HTML. So with the help of CSS, it looks beautiful. Now let's make our filter work. First thing what we need to do is, since these are surrounded inside form, so whenever I select some values and click on filter, you need to look at the query string. So you see query string. So first of all, we need to get these value. Let's get these value from the get parameter. Let's get these value. Now since two of them are one of them is from taxonomy, so we need to use tax query. Most of and others are from meta query, so we'll be other are from meta box, so we'll be using meta query. So we need to pass these two variables to our WP query. So actually these are array. We need to pass this array to our WP query. So if the value is set, then accordingly we'll be using if else statement and passing it to the main argument. Passing it to the argument, so we can pass it again to the WP query. First let's focus on meta query. Meta query is for meta box. So if these are not empty, if these are there, then to the args, so this is argument, to the args pass a key. So this is meta key, meta query, this is key, and the value is this one. So you see I am passing meta query and the value is again an array. So this is a key, as I said, this is key and value. So I'm using key and I'm using value, which we get from the get parameter. So this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value. So again it will check if these value are there, then it will be appended over here as meta query. I'm not doing it. WordPress will automatically do. We need to have to worry about it, and it will append all the array which we have added. So this will get added. This will get added. If it's not empty, this will get added. Similarly for tax query is for taxonomy. So tax query, again taxonomy, what it is, product tag, and I'm saying compare the field slug. So slug is because we have a column called slug, so it will have value. So I need to match that value with the argument that we received through the get parameter. So once it get matched, it will display the filter based on that. Now that's enough to make our filter work. Click on shop. Our filter is gone. Mistakenly I have removed it. If you refresh it, let's select Labrador and click on filter. So in the URL you will find doc type Labrador. It's not working. It's because we have to display it over here. We have to take our query argument first, and now you see the filter in action. So let's choose Persian. So just find the doc type Persian getting changed. Let me do Weagle. Doc type Weagle would get changed. So this Weagle will be captured over here, and once the doc type is set, then this meta query gets attached to this argument, and if it only filters the key doc type where the value is which we have passed Weagle, only the Weagle gets displayed. Similarly for tax query, for age 1 to 2, you'll find the doc age 1 to 2. So again, if there is any value, it would get activated, and this get appended in the argument, and this argument is sent as a WP query, and the doc type is Weagle and the age is 1 to 2, gets filtered accordingly. If I click on reset, it would go away. I have cleaned the URL. Now this is a PHP function, start OK, and I'm using that query as a delimiter. So let me just check this and show you. So this function, what it will do, it will select the delimiter. I don't know how do you call it. So it will check this. There are two values on the left side and the right side, so it will erase all the right side value. So that's what this delimiter does. This function start OK does, strt OK does. So I hope it's clear. If I click on reset, you'll find whatever is there after delimiter, it will get erased. Cool. Now let's look for the pagination. So setting pagination is very simple, very easy. I have already explained it clearly in the previous video. I'm just saying this is a pretty URL. So this is going to be pretty URL. So let me just save this and show you. I'm using pretty URL. So you'll find if I click on something that preserve arg is not set. So I'll show you why preserve arg is needed. I'll first let me show you what pretty URL is. If I click on pretty2, you'll find /2 would be there. So this is for pretty URL. If there is no pretty URL, then you'll find paged equal to 2. So this is how it would be if it's withoud paged, P-A-G-E-D. This is how it would look without pretty URL. Now since we are using pretty URL, I'm saying the format is pretty URL. Get the paged value. If you remember, we are using this from the get args. I'm using that variable, and I'm saying it should be list. I'm saying there should be these two arrows on the left and right side, and I'm saying, see, left and right arrow, there would be arrow. Now if someone filters some values, so let's say filter so this query is set, so I want to preserve this. So that's the reason it is if you look from the logic's point of view, it is required, because every time the user will get to 2, user will get to 3, user will get to 4, so they're only page, user will get to 5. So they on every pagination clicks, I want that query string to stay. So that's the reason I'm using this preserve args. So how are we going to do is, we will be fetching these values, we'll be fetching this value and checking if there is a value, then add those get parameter value into the preserve args. So if there is any value in the, so this is similar to what you see here. So you can see doc type, so you'll find doc type, so you'll find, so this is key, dog age is key, dog gender again, dog gender is key. If there is any value set, so based on that, get from the parameter and set it. So we need to pass this preserve args and pass it to the add args. This is key, and as a value we are passing it, so that WordPress knows even when you are in page 5, this was the query which user requested. So why it is needed, I'll just show you. In the with this paginate link, WordPress will just display the HTML, not the logic. So you'll find in the URL, since one is active, see on the URL it's page/2 until 2 is there is no query string attached. So to know WordPress, even when you are in page 5, what query did user asked for, so based on that, this preserve args would get attached and it will get fetched. So if you know a little bit knowledge about controller, then it would be easy for you to understand even more. So the query would be on the page 2, fetch the values which you have preserved. Similarly on page 3, fetch the value you have preserved. So it would be easy for WordPress to run the query and give the result accordingly. Or else for every page, if you don't add this preserve args, you'll just retrieve the common values without filter. So without filter, what would happen? It will just display the list of all values, not the filtered value. So if you don't use preserve args, only the common values would get displayed on page number 2, on page number 3, even you have selected preserve args. So I don't have that much products in my shop, so I won't be able to show you. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening.